Hello everyone, I am Sacrobolic, your envoy of hope, and welcome to What I Watched This Week. I started this week off with Chio's Road to School, or School Road. Chio's School Road is a comedy series about a young nerdy girl in, I want to say high school, pretty sure it's high school, who, it's basically, she goes to school, it's her, walk to school, and then a bunch of crazy comedic things happen. This show was funny as fuck. Several times I had to, stop watching and get up and walk around a little bit just to catch my breath. I can't really get too much into what happens because I basically gave you the plot without talking about, individual episodes. But there's even spots of character development and, character relationships growing over the course of several episodes, which I did appreciate. At the end of the show, there was a trailer for future things to come, and I know the manga's over, so hopefully the anime does well enough to get a second season, and then they can finish off the series. I'll probably talk more about this in my top 10 list for the year. Then we moved on to Harukana Receive. This is about a city girl who moves to the countryside. By countryside, I mean beachfront countryside, and with her cousin, and they form a beach volleyball team, and they go on to play beach volleyball with other beach volleyballers. Not a whole lot happens. It's kind of like a heartwarming, kind of mellow show. Not a lot of tension in it, and even from the first start of the show, it's a lot about teamwork and forming a team and all that jazz. There was one moment that kind of got the blood pumping, which is the last quarter of the very final volleyball game. I would almost call the moment Sakuga, but honestly, the animation quality would just be on par for a better animated show. But it was definitely above what the show had presented so far, and it was far more dramatic. So it had a good ending, but all in all, not too much to talk about. And also, the whole show was about making it to nationals, and we never see the nationals. So that's another show that's oh, is there going to be a sequel? And on that one, I'm I don't care. Then I went to Hanebado, which is a show that a bunch of people talked about, mostly for the animation quality. It's about badminton. And this show is either brilliant or a fucking train wreck, depending on whether my initial interpretation of it was correct, and I don't think it was, so I'm kind of leaning towards train wreck. But it opens up with a girl named Nagisa who's upset that she recently lost a badminton game against a girl named Ayano, and the flashback shows that Ayano has this voided look in her face, she's not paying attention, and then she's super pissed off. She takes it out on her club mates, and then Ayano ends up getting forced to join her badminton team because she was a middle schooler, and now she's in high school. And then the first I think 3 episodes are dedicated to just smacking Nagisa and be hey, knock it off, chill. And then she does chill, and then it begins to focus on Ayano more after that, for kind of way too many episodes, with her adopted sister and her shitty mom. And you begin to see her personality switch from a carefree girl with serious issues with badminton. She shouldn't be playing badminton, period. Keep the fucking girl away from badminton. But she ends up eventually going fucking completely psycho, and she gets that voided look she had in the flashback, and she becomes the fucking biggest bitch ever. Oh my god. And I kind of appreciated it at the time, because as the series went on, it was Ayano was kind of just this normal girl, and as it went on, she became more and more of a shitbag to the point where it was like, okay, she's becoming the villain of this series. And at the end, when it's Nagisa in her rematch against Ayano, I was like, man, Nagisa better fucking beat her ass. And the character's reactions to Ayano's like psycho moments were actually beginning to show that like the show had enough self-awareness to realize that Ayano at this point is clearly the villain. And so when Nagisa like goes up her against her in badminton, it's like, no, everyone's rooting for Nagisa. And, you know, obviously this is a show where everyone talked about like the animation quality, which really helps with the badminton. Like every single match of badminton is basically as exciting as the final match in Harukana. Except there's one episode dedicated to the boys' side of the badminton team, and no one gives a fuck about the boys. I don't even know if the boy characters had names. I think they had names, but I wasn't even aware they were part of the badminton team, to be honest, until like 2 episodes before then. So, you know, who gives a fuck? But yeah, I remember at the end of it, like in the final badminton match, like the screen turns white and the like lines become jagged. It looked fucking cool. It was like, yo, this is like some high level badminton tension. And at the end, they end up like Ayano basically tells her mom to go fuck herself, and everyone's like, yeah, Nagisa's the fucking best. And I really appreciated the amount of time they took in developing Ayano later in the series when she makes that flip and it becomes clear that it's like we've seen Nagisa go from like an asshole to like a good like character that people like, and we've seen Ayano make the reverse journey of becoming a good character that people liked to a huge fucking asshole. So we've seen our hero develop positively and our villain develop negatively, and the amount of time they put into the villain's motivation not only helped flesh her out, but made her a more understandable and complete character, or so I thought. But before making this video, I discovered that an alternate name for Hanebado is something like the badminton play of Ayano, and then I reread the explanation for the like plot of it, and it seems as though the main character isn't meant to be Nagisa, it's meant to be Ayano, which, I mean, either Hanebado wants me to root against its protagonist, or I was supposed to be rooting for Ayano against Nagisa, which, holy shit, if that wasn't their intention, they fucked up so hard on that they basically failed upward. Oh my god. And, like, looking at the way the series is presented and, like, thinking back, like, oh man, they really did put more time into Ayano. I think I was supposed to be rooting for Ayano, which... fuck. Oh my god, I can't believe they fucked up that hard, that they made the, like, antagonist the protagonist on accident. So anyway, that's Hanebado. Overall, I liked it. I just think I was wrong in my initial interpretation. But fuck it. I'll appreciate it for what it was. Then we finished off with Libra of Nil Admirari, or however the fuck you say that. This is based off of, I think, like an Otoma game, you know, hot dudes, one chick, reverse harem kind of shit. There are a bunch of books that are imbued with the author's emotions and make you feel things, one of which caused the main character's brother to set himself on fire, and another dude to set himself on fire. It had a good idea behind it, but the problem with it is that it's clearly an advertisement for the game, and they end up investing a bunch of time in, like, the guys, and some of the guys are interesting, but some of the guys suck. And some of them suck harder than others, and there's only 12 episodes, which means that there's, like, an episode a week dedicated to a guy, so although if you, like, cut out the unnecessary episodes, you probably have a semi-decent plot, it ends up just... You have to spend time with every dude, and boy, do you not want to do that. And it's also like a melodrama by the actual definition of a melodrama, in that they over-dramatize things. Because there's like a scene where the main character gets like separated from the guys for like 5 seconds, and she's like, oh no, I've been separated from the guys. And then one of the guys comes up and he's like, what happened? What are you doing? I told you never to walk away from us. What's wrong with you? And the other guys, they look at her, and like they walked up and they're like, that was dangerous getting separated. And I'm like, she was gone for like 5 seconds. It was 5 seconds. We literally saw how long she's been separated with you. What the fuck? It's fucking crazy. And there's literally a twist at the end where one character, it like the villain, reveals that he's another character's father. Like, they straight up empire it. It is just the stupidest fucking thing. So good ideas, but the execution was fucking trash. That said, I find the opening oddly fun to watch, with the little dances and watching the main girl like change her dress. I think it's really cute. I think she's really cute too. I like her as a character. But overall, I think the show itself kinda sucked. So anyway, I've been Sacrobolic, your Envoy of Hope, and this has been What I Watched This Week. I will see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.